Y'all are on These Fan Dan Shit Show.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I'll try not to be, I feel bad. Somebody told me it was like it's rude to bring coffee to an interview or something like that. I was like,
no, you can bring food if you want. I don't care. On that note, please welcome Finn and Cam from Dangerbox. What's up, boys?
Hi, I'm doing great. Good to see you. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, we've been trying to set this up for a while, but the holidays,
Yeah.
one of those things.
Yeah.
What do you guys get up to over the holidays? Do you guys play any Christmas gigs?
No, I wish.
We
Yeah,
have.
I was gonna say those could be fun.
We have played Christmas gigs in the past, but this year we kind of we just didn't do it because it was like, well, it's the holiday season. Some of us got to go back to work.
Yeah.
Some of us are tired, and some of us have like families we want to go see.
Yeah, I was so busy. I was like running around every single day. It was kind of brutal.
Yeah,
it's a fun way.
It was like, it was right after because we had a show in You Cool It in around like November or so.
Oh, yeah.
And then like right after that, we all like drove home and like kind of didn't talk to each other for like a month and a half. Not like any personal stuff or anything like that, but it was because we all were sort of like, all right, we had a great gig, and then all of us were like, all right, time to go to work.
Yeah.
Which it's kind of the gig in life.
Yeah,
it's like,
back to real life.
yeah, you play an amazing show, then the next day it's like, so wait, did you want fries with that, or did you order? Wait, was that a large order or a medium? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Was it you guys played with Fucked Up?
Yeah, we did that.
Sweet.
Yeah, so the Queens. It was an interesting time. It was like, we were playing with like, it was Fucked Up, Chastity, and then Puffer, and then I knew the guitarist for Chastity because I used to go and watch him play when I was like super young. So I like looked up to that dude, and then Fucked Up is obviously a huge band, like not just in Canada, but like everywhere.
They've been around for 20 years.
Yeah, so we managed to get on that bill, and I was kind of just like stoked to hang out with everyone. And,
they were all really nice.
yeah, it was a small turnout. This is Tuesday night. Fucked Up had never been to Nanaimo, but it was still a blast. Like, yeah, everyone played really well.
It wasn't too small of a turnout, but it was fun.
Big venue, small crowd type thing.
Yeah, I remember your guitar messing up during worst day ever, and I had to strum extra hard on the bass to be like, accent the guitar notes.
Yeah.
Play hard enough so there's distortion.
Nice.
That was really fun. I remember that one.
So I don't know who wants to start it off, but tell me, how did Dangerbox come to be?
Well, we went to high school together, so we kind of met just like in the halls. Like I was wearing like a Blink-182 hoodie. I have no idea where that hoodie went, but I was wearing it at the time, and Cameron like complimented it. And I think you were wearing a System of a Down shirt, and I was like, oh, I like System of a Down, and so we just started playing music together, and we were kind of just like, oh, what if we made, combined the sound of Blink-182 with the sound of System of a Down, sort of, or like the vibes, and we just do that to this day pretty much.
Yeah, we had like sort of band before Dangerbox that was also
like
just
5 of them.
Yeah, no, there was only one, and it was a really awful band called it started off being called Squirm the Worm, which is awful, and then it was called Worms with a Z at the end, and it was so bad. I'll never forget telling my dad, like, yeah, I'm in a band now. He's like, oh, what are you guys called? And I told him Squirm the Worm, and he was like, yeah, that's great. A lot of people got to be in bands before they really get started. And then that band lasted for like 3 months, and then
it was not that long.
Yeah, and then I think one day I like texted you again, and I was like, I think us starting a band together again would be kind of fun now that we're like, we're more mature. But it was like 6 months
like 14
later.
years old at the time.
We've matured as men.
Yeah.
What high school did you guys go to?
Dover Bay.
Nice,
so,
me
like,
too.
Oh, hell
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm originally from Nanaimo. So.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah. Have you lived in? Have you always been in Nanaimo? Like,
no, I lived in Vancouver for about 8 years.
Ooh,
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, did you come back like recently?
I moved back not last August, the previous August, and then March 20th I went to rehab.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's great. I totally forgot what I was gonna say, but you let's see here. Was it did you like sort of live like more south end or well I don't know.
No.
Not enough docks where you're from.
No. Like where I grew up?
Yeah.
Oh no, I grew up in North Nanaimo. Nice. Just literally 5-minute drive from here. Kind of like in like a 10-minute walking distance from Dover Bay.
Sweet, nice.
Yeah. Dover was pretty grisly. I remember. It's funny. Our David and Todson, who couldn't make this interview, but David is our bassist. He's lovely.
Yeah.
Todson is our drummer. He's also lovely.
Yeah.
All of us attended Dover at the exact same time, and all of us like spoke to each other, but not like all in like one group.
Yeah,
like,
we were all friends with each other like separately. It was really weird.
I think there was one time actually where you and I were talking to each other and walking by,
Yeah.
and then David and Todson were talking to each other and walking the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And it was like.
It was really weird. We never collided like as a group until Todson joined the band, and then we started really like hanging out with him, and then David came along, and we I could tell the rest of the band story if you want, but we had like a bassist named Larry.
Mm-hmm.
We did hang out with in high school quite a bit.
Yeah, you did. I never.
Well, yeah. Once he joined the band, though, we were like chilling all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
He's not in the band anymore?
No, he had to move to Edmonton for school.
Like a nerd.
Yeah.
Like a success. He's the only guy in the band.
Fucking nerd.
I know. Well, he's the only guy in the band who actually owns a house now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's like renting it to one of his friends and stuff.
Yeah.
So. He's doing well for himself. And he was like way better of a musician than everyone else. But we had him playing bass because we had two guitarists. And he was just like he liked hanging out with us, but he's like, man, these songs are so fucking easy, like come on. And so we got David in the band, and he's been with us since and going strong. So yeah.
I'll say that like Larry is technically like I don't want to like make them compete. Obviously, we actually when we played in Edmonton, we reunited with Larry because Edmonton's where he lives now, and being on stage with him again, and then actually all five of us with David, like all five of us playing songs on stage. I was like, this is fucking awesome. I looked at the crowd and no one there was like as into it as us because it's like they don't know that it's like this was their old bassist. So this is like if we brought Larry back for an Nanaimo show, the roof off the place would be like, no way.
We've been trying. It'll happen one day.
I hope
Mark
so.
my words. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to make them compete. But Larry was like the better is better at music than pretty much anyone I know, including me. There's nothing worse than I'd have a solo and then he'd pick up okay guys, I got a solo for a song. I'm like, oh god, now here it comes. I'm gonna play rhythm for a song and look like a moron.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember your first gig? How did it go? Did you guys bomb?
No, we I kind of looking back, it definitely wasn't great. We were a 3-piece band at the time. Cameron and I would still switch off on drums and guitar. So he was playing drums.
So you guys would rotate?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
We still do it for 2 songs, but he would kind of switch off with me, and then we had Larry on bass, and it didn't work too well. It was okay, but it was kind of
I wasn't a good enough drummer. You can say it. It's fine.
You
said you were great. No, that's what you're supposed to say. Oh, you're great, bro. You just wasn't the
Hey, you've improved since then.
Not really. I can do
but
I don't have a kid at home.
Yes.
I got a practice pad that I go
You do it on the pots and pans. But the show.
I set up the pillows in my living room. Mom's like, shut the fuck up.
The show's good though. We have it on video somewhere if you look on YouTube. I'd say our stage show was really good, but we weren't super tight as musicians. My voice has gotten way better since then. I couldn't hit any high notes or anything.
Well, how long have you guys been around for?
About 5.5 years
We
now.
started the band around September 2019.
Yeah, it was August of 2019.
Right before COVID.
Yeah.
I wish we could have seen I'm pretty sure we probably would have played a few shows when it was just two of us if COVID didn't happen.
Yeah.
And that would have gone terribly, but also that would have been really fun.
Oh yeah, I guess you didn't really give much context, but the band started just the two of us. So we would have one of us on drums, one of us on guitar, and then we did it, for a while to write songs and stuff, and then once it came time, 2021 was when we did our first show. So I was 16, he was 17, Larry was also 16. We were wanting to play a show, but it wouldn't have worked unless we had a bass player because we couldn't do tracks or anything. We didn't have expensive gear. We couldn't really make it work as a 2-piece.
Yeah, and it kind of works if you're the Black Keys and you're playing in a dingy
garage
in 2003, but we're playing pop punk in 2021, so
we need a bassist.
Yeah, you need a bass. Yeah.
And so we did have I would say for that show it at the time felt really cool. We did it at our high school, which was sick, and There's a lot of people there.
Helped put on by the one and only Steve Holmberg.
Yeah.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Our music teacher at the time helped us record all of our early songs. And
Oh,
stuff.
really? Sweet.
Yeah, and the reason why they don't sound so great looking back is because he would make us suggestions like, oh, we should do this, or we should like record 2 guitar tracks. You can pan them in stereo, and we're like, nah, that's too much work. So we just never did it.
Well, there was a few. We took a few. Did we take 2 live recordings or one? Oh no, we took 2 live recordings from our first ever show, and those are the only live recordings that are on Spotify.
Yeah, if you go
Are
on our
those
first
on that EP?
Yeah.
Those
Those are the recordings from our first ever show.
Yeah.
I remember.
Who does your album covers?
Artwork.
I should
Oh,
say.
so
So I noticed they're
the
kind of
first-
like cartoony-ish, a couple of them.
yeah, so our logo is what we used for the first EP. That one was done by our friend Ember, who also went to Dover. And then Through, which was our single, that was done by my boyfriend Alex. So he actually hand painted it. I have that in the band room.
I didn't know that was hand painted.
It's hand painted,
That's
yeah.
cool.
It's an actual painting. And then Second Strike is an interesting story.
It's funny. Some random guy texted us on Instagram.
No,
was
that's not at all how it went down.
No, I swear to
It's
God,
not at all
him
how
being-
it went down.
I swear to God, him being like, "Hey, I drew this cool," like some random guy being like, "Hey, look at this cool drawing of a night I did. By the way, you guys can use this."
No, it was there was a Facebook group that I'm in, and there was a dude who was in a hardcore band, and he had this artwork that was like a work in progress of like a night, and he was going to use it for his band, and his band saw it, and they're like, "Man, this fucking sucks! Like, why would you ever show us this? Like, this is terrible." But he drew it himself, like he has like a whole design company.
Jeez.
Well, they thought it was too
So
cartoony.
unsupportive.
Yeah,
What
so I
kind of
saw it
shit?
and I was like, "This is sick," and it was just the night on like a white background. I showed it to the band, and they're like, "It's all right, but it's a bit plain." But I was like very confident that like it would look sick once it was put together. So he drew our logo in and finished it off with the background and stuff, and like we thought that was so sick. The only problem is that the EP to back it up wasn't as strong as we would have wanted it to be. But
yeah.
people seem to like those songs and whatnot. So
Yeah.
I think that album art just represents like a very, specific vibe that EP has for sure.
It's like a guy slaying a massive dragon. I remember us typing an entire note document like, okay, what are we naming this EP? I think we got the name Second Strike because it was our second EP.
Yeah.
And we were gonna call it like Mosh with Might as a joke, and all of us were laughing at that. I was like, "There's no way we're using that. That's so stupid." Like if you have a hard time saying the EP to somebody when they're like, "What's the last name of your EP?" That's when you shouldn't have it. That be the name.
Second Strike was catchy for sure.
It's the same as if someone asks you what your band name is and you say Squirm the Worm. If you're embarrassed to say it, it's probably not a good band name.
True. Yeah.
Where do you guys record music?
So we were doing everything at our school when we were in high school.
Yeah.
The Second Strike EP, I guess that would have been recorded like right when I was graduating.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have money to mix it, so those like stems are actually pretty good. But we didn't have that much cash. We got our buddy Logan to do it, and Logan is super talented hip hop producer. He had never done live band stuff, so I think it was cool for him to like cut his teeth, but we didn't really give him enough time to actually work on the tracks. And I think after that, I kind of decided I just wanted to have us record everything with me because I'd been learning how to produce my own stuff. And now we just do everything in my basement, and we also have some connections for studios around the island that we can go to if we want to lay down drums and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, there's like I do some recording in my place when it's more for like more demo ideas, just so it's like here's what I want it to sound like, or at least here's what I'm thinking. What are we all thinking collectively?
Yeah.
Like and then changes get made.
Yeah.
There's like, and also the vocals on my demos are laughably terrible because I always am like I don't want to do that. It's my day off. I don't want to be covered in sweat. And like it's like, but now it's like, oh, let's do it. If you're not sweating by the time the recording's done, it's like, was it really worth
It's
it?
not a good recording.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hear ya.
If you happen to be passing through Vancouver, BC, please stop by Whiskey 6 Barbecue. Hands down, #1 ribs ever. That's Whiskey 6 Barbecue, located in Vancouver, BC. Be there or be square, baby.
we just mentioned I just mentioned the Sum 41 farewell show. I unfortunately wasn't able to attend the Victoria one due to health concerns, fucking recovery. But I think a lot of bands, you know how like a lot of bands, they do the farewell tour thing?
Yeah.
And then about a year or two later, they're back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like with them, they're probably gonna wait, like, because I looked up how old Derek is, and he's 44. I was like, there's no
they'll
way.
be back.
There's no reason to retire.
If Motley Crue can keep going when Vince Neil is 82 years old, then like, there's no way that like Sum 41.
Not that they should keep going, but
No,
you know,
no.
they do. They do regardless.
Oh man, they're amazing. I think they got better when they dropped.
I would say like if there's any kind of end goal for this band is that if we were to ever be calling it quits, we would do it in a very like respectful and like final way, you know, just to be like with respect for fans. Because I've even seen it with like local bands and like smaller bands where they'll break up and then just like come back 2 months later. It's like, come on guys, like let's just leave it where it is, you know, like if you've made an impact on a scene or impact on people's lives in some way, like, and you have to make that thing come to an end, do it in a way that, you know, is going to matter for people instead of just, oh yeah, this is our last tour so we can make a bunch of money and then 2 years later we're back with another album.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's like when Ozzy Osbourne, he thought he was going to be done after No More, the tour called No More Tours.
Yeah.
And he later ended up doing another tour just like that. He called it No More Tours 2. So it's just like, yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, he's great. With Sum 41, I feel like they easily, like, they're probably just going to, like, stop for a little bit, and then they'll probably come back with, like, in, like, 10 or so, being, like, what's the 30th anniversary of Does This Look Infected? And then they'll be back for, like, a little bit, and then, like, I don't know.
I guess they'd probably never come back as a full-time band, and maybe that's what it is, but I'm not really getting the sense that, like, this is their final, you know, hurrah, like, I don't know, like, and we'll see, you know, new stuff from Gob, I'm sure, like, which is a good thing. Like, I'm sure they'll be touring more and stuff like that. So I see it as more like they're probably doing like an end of an era type thing. But I really don't believe that this is like the last Sum 41 shows ever, you know?
What's his name? Who's in Gob and Sum 41?
Theo,
yeah. He must have an exhausting evening every night.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've done like 2 sets before for sure, but like doing the Gob set, which is whatever, like 30 minutes, and then a Sum 41 set, which can't be shorter than an hour and a half. Like that's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah. Well, you've had to do double duties when you played bass for Red Lenses. Shout out Red Lenses.
Yeah.
Whenever they open for Dangerbox.
And then also Razor Voice, like doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, but you haven't. Oh no, that's right. You have played with Razor Voice and then gone with Dangerbox right after.
For those who don't know, I play bass in a band called Razor Voice. Which is Ben Whitrock from Victoria has a project that he's been doing probably like over 10 years at this point. And he's got a rad group of guys together, and it's sort of like in similar vein to Dangerbox. It's like pop punk, but it's a little bit more like on the straight punk rock side. There's not as much like hardcore or
not melodic.
Yeah, it's like it's very reminiscent of like skate punk, but with more of like a Blink-182 kind of flair. It's a fun time, and then sometimes he'll just write some crazy like cool new like super different stuff that, you know, doesn't even have a genre to it. So yeah, like shout out Razor Voice. It's really fun to play with those guys, and we've done some recording recently, so hopefully that's out soon.
Our like third or fourth show we played it with Razor Voice.
Yeah.
He always compliments my shirts. He was the only one who complimented my Mr. Bungle shirt.
Yeah.
I remember. I think somebody ordered a pizza for us backstage, and then I gave it to him. I was just like somebody ordered us a pizza, and then I found it, and I was like, there's 8 pieces left. I was like, hey Ben, do you want this pizza, bro? You guys did great.
Shout out Ben. I think he's like, if we're talking like people in the island music scene, like he's probably one of the most supportive of them all. Like he does so much for so many bands. He'll lose so much money putting on shows up in Victoria, does these pop punk nights, and like massive respect for him. He also did sound at the Lucky Bar for like a long.
The Lucky
time.
Bar, I know that.
Yeah,
place.
he would bring. He's the one
Place.
who's bringing in a PA system for every single show.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, massive respect to him.
Yeah, I think I saw Bison BC there.
Bison BC.
Yeah, they're like a sludge metal kind of stoner rock.
That's
band.
fucking awesome.
Maybe like 6-7 years ago.
Nice. It's a good spot.
Yeah, it is. A lot of bands play there. Good bands play there.
Mm-hmm.
So how does the writing, like who writes the music?
Kind of both of us. We
Yeah.
both sort of.
So like a collab?
Yeah.
We have really altering different styles,
Yeah.
and our music teacher used to tell us this.
Yeah.
Right. What I should be saying. Sorry for cutting you off.
No,
Like what do you write about?
oh.
Usually for me, it's whatever is making me furious enough that I'll be in bed, like, lying down thinking about it, and eventually I'm like, I gotta, and I just, like, get up, I'm like, okay, I gotta write something about this right now. Anything that makes me really mad is what I write about. Except for Kart Song, which is a song about Mario Kart, and I was not angry when I wrote that. I was
Well,
like,
you might have lost it. Like, you might have lost a game and then yelled out, like, fuck you,
fuck you,
Mario.
Wario. Fucking his bitch ass.
Yeah.
It's first the worst, I don't care.
Yeah.
A lot of, we like split between who writes the songs, because sometimes I'll have like an entire like idea all the way through. I'll be like, this is the verse, this is the chorus, and I'm thinking of doing this for the bridge.
Play rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
You track one.
It's sort of, but it's more like whoever brought in the idea of the song sort of like gets the final kind of say. Like if you come in with an entire song, it's like, hey, are you guys? I was thinking about maybe doing this with the bridge, and then if like, I think if like all three of the other members are like, that's not really a good idea, then it's like,
Yeah. Okay, I'll drop it. Yeah.
yeah,
We kind of put it up to a vote, like, for sure. Everything is democratic, you know? Like, that goes for songwriting, that goes for playing shows. If I'm like, unless like, you know, someone's like, oh, that sounds like a stupid idea, but I'm like, no, guys, like, we actually really have to do this. But for sure, like, Cameron will demo something out, bring a song to us, and then typically, like, Toddson and I will help him like put together a structure for like a chorus or something. Like we have a song Clocking In that Cameron wrote, and he had a different idea for the chorus. And then Toddson and I were like, well, how can we make this into like a more powerful, like hard hitting, catchy section? And so this is like the first time that Toddson and I really worked together to like write a chorus, and it turned out great. And then with my songs, like I'll usually spend like a solid like, at the very least, like 10 hours working on a demo, trying to like make it sound as like final as possible, and then I'll bring it to the band and let them listen to it and whatnot. And then if anyone has input, I'll be like, okay, yeah, like I can go and like change that or try whatever, right? Because I'm always down to try any sort of changes and stuff because it just works for me, you know.
It's hard showing. I don't know why it's hard for me to show you guys my songs. I think it's more just like playing a song live for the first time is a really scary feeling. Being like, oh man, I really, really need to hope that people don't hate this.
Crowd reaction is a huge part in how we decide what songs to play, because there's certain songs that like I've felt strongly about, and then we play it and there's just no crowd reaction, and then there's certain songs that I don't like and we play it. And then people are like, oh my god, this song's fucking awesome. What the hell? I don't like this song. So, yeah, it's definitely like, it's tricky to really be like proud of your art sometimes if you're unsure, you know?
Yeah, like, would you get like say more like nervous, or do you like, are you more comfortable at like smaller venues, like, or like bigger venues, like more of a crowd, less of a crowd, that sort of thing?
It's funny because I kind of used to be a bit different with now I'm more scared to play local as opposed to like playing in shows that are like, I don't know, far from like home. Like I used to be like, oh, if we played in like Prince George or something, it's like, oh geez, I don't know anyone in Prince George. What if they like? There's a whole bunch of people I need to impress, and now by the time tour was done, I was like, I'm never gonna see these people again, but I'll put on a great show for you guys. Now it's kind of like when I'm at home, it's like, oh god, I know everybody in the crowd. They're all gonna, oh man, if I mess this up, they're all gonna think I'm a schmuck, and I get like all nervous and stuff. For bigger bigger small venues.
Bigger small venues.
Big
Big or small venues.
Yes. I don't know. It's kind of like it kind of gives off like it kind of depends on the energy of the crowd as well. I like having a really big crowd. It's fun. There's more people I get to point at, but also like there's something amazing about like there's like 9 people in the room and all of them are going absolutely nuts. And I guarantee more people would rather have like 30 people going absolutely crazy than 250 being like.
Yeah.
I feel like if there's only 9 people in the room and they're staring right at me, then that equals like one person, one large person just staring into my soul.
Oh my god, yeah.
Whereas when there's a lot of people, there's so many people you can't even tell who's staring at you.
Right?
So it's like whatever.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
I'll say like the one thing about me is like sometimes I'll get a little bit nervous like before the show if it's just like a big thing that's like, oh, we can't fuck this up, but like we've played so many times that like I know how to do what we do. Like I'm not really necessarily more nervous if we're playing to more people. Obviously, if like someday randomly we got like thrown onto like a sold out arena show, I'd be shitting my pants a little bit. But I'm like confident enough that we know what we're doing up there. And like contrary actually what you said, like I feel like when we're on tour, I'm actually most focused on capturing people's attention so that when we come back I will see those people again, you know. Like same with like local shows, it's like I'm less worried about fucking up a song or whatever. I'm more just worried about like how do I capture these people's attention and like make this show interesting and fun in some way and keep the crowd involved, because I feel like if we're on tour and stuff and you know we meet a bunch of people and then we have the mentality of like, well, we don't have to worry about fucking up in front of these people because we'll never see them again. Maybe they won't show up again, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I'm not really like, fuck it, I'm never going to see you again. I'm not going to put in any effort. It's more like, hey, I'm never going to see these people again. This is great. I can have fun. And, you know, what are they going to do? Think I'm a schmuck? Whatever. Not go to the town next door. It's fine.
Exactly.
Or we'll come back and it's like, hey, I saw these guys. You should go buy some Rotten Tomatoes and throw them at them. So
that would be fun. Actually, if a group of people actually went to a show, spent money on tomatoes and threw them at us, like I wouldn't even be mad. I'd just be like, okay, this is like.
Has there been like maybe not a tomato incident, but has there been like any incidents?
With throwing stuff, there was one time we played.
Just in general, any incidents?
Like on stage?
Like just something that would.
Like people are super fucking respectful.
Are they?
Yeah, we meet some like drunk assholes sometimes, but like people have been like, we've had a very positive experience with, I would say 99% of the people we've met. Like it's very rare unless we see some like shady stuff going on. It's very rare that we like have a super negative impression of someone, you know?
Yeah. With nothing is like we've never had like we don't get that many like mean heckles like on stage. Sometimes they're really funny. One time, do you remember when we played at Todson's family reunion?
Yeah.
And we were making fun of Todson for being short. He's absolutely not short. He's just the shortest guy in the band.
Yeah.
But we were like talking about how short he was, and then after the set, one of his little cousins walked up to us and said, "At least Todson is shorter than your songs," and everyone there was like, "Oh!" So I was just like, "Okay."
Yeah, I feel like we're lucky in the sense that like with the community that we reside in, I would say 90% of people are super chill, and then like there's a small percentage of people who are like a little bit weird, and then the smallest amount that are just like not great people. But like so many awesome people are in the scene, like not even in Nanaimo or Vancouver Island, but like Canada in general. Like I've just met so many cool people doing this, so many people that like I know I'll be friends with for a long time, you know. So like I don't know, we typically don't have like incidents with the crowd. Like if something goes wrong, it's usually like someone getting injured or some gear breaking or something like that.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of. One time my amp a fuse blew in it, so
fucking love this story.
I had to entertain the crowd by freestyle rapping the whole time, or for like I think I did it like 3 times in a row. Usually
for like 5 minutes.
For on stage bits, if something's really funny, I either do it once or I do it 3 times max, and that's it.
Yeah,
if you do it more than 3 times, it's not that funny anymore.
Yeah,
unless for the 4th time there's something that's really really funny.
Yeah.
but usually just cap it at
But
3.
yeah, we were playing with the Dayglow abortions in Duncan, and
they're like legends.
yeah,
Legends.
Oh my god, this is great. Like I basically we got reached out to for a Nanaimo show, and then they were going to Port Alberni on the Saturday when we were going to Ucluelet, and then the Sunday they had nothing, so I was just like, why don't we do something in Duncan? And we reached out to Kai, who runs Time and Space Continuum in Duncan, which is a sick underground venue, and we got this Dayglow Abortions show. It was like sold out. It was packed. It was awesome. And Cameron's amp cuts out in the middle of the set, and we're like trying to think of what to do, because we tell a lot of jokes on stage, but when you're gonna have a large block of time in between songs, it's hard to just keep talking. You need to do something.
Yeah.
And so our go-to is kind of like make up a song on the spot, and Cameron freestyled for like 5 minutes straight, and he just kept on coming up with bar after bar of like genius shit.
I had to like walk. I don't even remember anything I said, but I do remember looking out at the crowd and seeing people being like,
yeah, it was like people are more into that than like,
They were into it.
Yeah.
That's good.
yeah. And then amp started working again, and show carried on.
Yeah.
That ended up being probably one of. That was like only like last year at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Almost a year ago now.
Yeah.
That was a really fun show.
It was one of my favorites for sure. Yeah, that
Nice.
whole run of shows.
At least they didn't start throwing shit, right?
No, yeah, we've never. I can't remember a time where someone's thrown something.
There was one time we played in Cumberland, and we visited that Value Village before, and they had a bunch of Angry Birds stuffed animals.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, wait, hold on, I'm making an out-of-pocket purchase. I'm gonna buy $20 worth of these Angry Birds plushies.
Yeah.
And then later that night, before worst day ever, we were throwing them into the crowd.
Yeah.
And then when we played the rest of the set, everyone was like just winging them right at us.
Yeah,
But
that
I
was
like,
pretty funny.
They were stuffed animals. I was like,
Yeah.
there's no way.
We
Yeah,
deserved.
but that was
we knew that was.
intentional.
Yeah, we knew that was
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, no one's ever like.
So that's a good thing.
Oh yeah. That was a great thing. No
Yeah.
one's ever like. I've like picked up like things that people have. Like one time, someone had like this weird doll or like this weird plastic baby doll, and I was doing a guitar solo, and I threw down my pick, and I picked it up.
Picked up the
and
doll and started playing. Yeah.
like shit like that. Everyone's like, "What the hell is?" That was hard to play with.
Yeah.
I had to like lock in for that. I had to play boring pentatonic licks just so I
Yeah.
could focus on like picking properly.
Yeah. I would say we get less like people throwing stuff at us, and more just like, people being like, look, I like drew this fan art or something. Like even that's like rare, but stuff like that. Like if someone's gonna like interact with us, it's typically not in like a negative way.
I love when people make stuff for us. Somebody made a worst day ever bracelet at the
Yeah.
Halloween show, and I
Yeah.
don't know who that was.
Yeah.
Like I've like texted
Trying
three
to,
people.
trying
I
to find
texted
out.
3 people being like, "Hey, was this you?" Because I found it on the ground and
Yeah.
never. So somebody out there made a really good worst day ever bracelet.
If it's
and
you,
I've never seen
Send
it.
us a message. We'll give you $50 for his bank account.
No, that's okay. I can afford that.
Yeah.
If you happen to be passing through Vancouver, BC, please stop by Whiskey 6 Barbecue. Hands down, #1 ribs ever. That's Whiskey 6 Barbecue, located in Vancouver, BC. Be there or be square, baby.
I found it on the ground at a
I
show.
wouldn't wear it because I feel like that's like a bad omen. Like wearing a bracelet is like the worst day ever.
I don't even. That's true.
You guys got any new music in the works?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
I would say like I typed out a list the other day of like the songs that I need to finish recording in the next few months or finish demoing out in the next like few months here, and there's like 12. I'd say like within the next 2 months there'll be a song out and then another single on the way. And then before we leave for tour in May, there'll be at the very least an EP of like 6 or 7 songs.
If there's not new music out by the time we go on tour, I'm gonna be fucking pissed, and that's gonna be pissed at ourselves.
Yeah.
Since I'll be like, okay, come on, I feel like we could have walked in a little harder.
Yeah, I've been like texting these guys basically every day, being like, "Yo, can someone come over and record drums and stuff?"
Yeah, we were all supposed to yesterday. Actually, well, 3/4 of us did.
Yeah, we did. We got like a huge chunk of a song done yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah. A lot of all the stuff we're recording is like stuff we've played live or have been playing live for like a few years, which is nice. It's nice to release songs that like we've already like played live, so then when people like the studio version of it gets out, everyone's like, "Oh, sweet!" Like I remember when Hit to Be Satanic was out on Second Strike.
Yeah.
There were so many people that were like, "Oh my,
Yeah,
finally!"
they knew the words already. Yeah.
Mhm.
I will say like the songs that we're releasing in the next couple months are going to be slightly older songs. Not slightly older, saying songs have been up for years, but songs that we started playing with in the past year. And then after that, this new EP is going to be like a majority, probably new songs that people haven't heard. Everything that I've been like stoked on recently has been stuff that like these guys haven't even heard. But I always wait until I feel confident that a song is like where it needs to be before I even finish demoing it out and stuff like that. But for sure, like there'll be a lot of music from us this year. I have a pretty decent setup for my home studio now, and I have people who I know who can mix the songs properly and master, and we have the money to do it now. So I think like while a lot of people are probably bummed that we haven't released music for a whole year, by the time the new stuff comes out, people are gonna be like, okay, hell yeah, like I'm glad that we waited,
Nice.
Yeah.
I once phoned in to double my vocals.
Yeah.
From rehab.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
You
Like Snoop Dogg with that what is that, a 2 to the 1 to the 1?
Well, no.
That's
well, I
Snoop
didn't
Dogg.
actually was on the phone. I had like a mic, but like I was in like it wasn't good sound quality. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah, you can usually tell when there's like it sucks. That happens. There's like a lot of times actually like I've seen like voice actors in video games. They've had to like redo something. So like one will be like talking like, "Where is it? Over there." All right, thanks. Is it by the back? Yeah. All right, thanks. And then it's like there's like one line where it's like so obviously like redone or re-recorded, and it's like, yikes.
Well, I do know for a fact that the Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door. I don't know if that was the same song I was singing, but that was at the very least written while Snoop was in prison through a phone. I found that out the other day and I was like mind blown. But like, yeah, for sure, sometimes you have to do stuff like that.
I don't remember what rapper. I think it was like Bobby Ritchie. He had that song called Hot. Well, I can't say the name of the song, but he he like recorded his verse for another rapper. Like he was like in jail and he was like rapping over like the like across the plexiglass from him. He was like and he's like, should I redo that? He's like, imagine. I'm surprised the jail staff weren't like, hey, you're not supposed to be cooking up bangers in jail.
Right.
You're here to learn.
Well, when you're in rehab, you had a mic, right? So you're like,
I had a mic.
Yeah.
I had a field recorder.
yeah,
But that was like I was in like wasn't soundproof. Let's put it that way.
I know what you
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have
Open
like,
windows.
Oh
and
my god.
I have a fucking bunkmate. So
Right.
it was
Man, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to
Yeah,
do
exactly.
shit. Yeah.
Well, only record at night. That way nobody's making noise.
No, it's quiet time.
I know.
It's quiet time at certain hours.
Record at 3 a.m. so no one's awake.
That's the one thing that's like I feel like people don't think about enough is like recording in an untreated room, how that can affect a recording. My room that we're recording in right now is completely untreated, so anytime I'm doing vocals and stuff, I have to use either a pretty close proximity microphone or just like find some way to like give it some insulation,
Yeah.
But for sure, like when we're listening back to mixes and stuff in that room, like everything, all the bass bounces off the walls, like it sounds muddy as hell. Like I got a lot of work to do there, but thankfully we're not mixing these new recordings, so I don't have to worry about it. Someone else's job,
Yeah. I forgot to show you. I transformed my like the closet into like a vocal booth sorta. And what I did was I got like
That's classic,
this really thick like winter blanket and I got like 50 thumbtacks and
Yeah.
just like put them all on the closet door.
That's the way to do it. I don't really have a closet, but if I did, that's what I'd be doing.
Your room is sort of like small. It doesn't have like a window, so it doesn't like bounce off the glass.
Yeah.
But that being said, the acoustic treatment is still pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to get like proper acoustic treatment because you could get like those like little foam things, but those honestly don't do like a damn thing unless you have like 600 of them. Stuff like that. And then there's some people that are like, oh, just take the egg cartons and then put them on the wall.
those
Don't do
fucking
that.
suck.
Don't do
Yeah,
that.
don't put egg cartons.
It will
on
make
your
your
wall.
room a walking fire hazard,
Yeah.
and you will sound like shit, and it will look ugly.
If someone's trying to burn your house down and they come in and there's a bunch of egg cartons on the wall, holy shit, that's like free real estate right there.
Recording in bed, you
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did I see I think I saw a poster with you guys. Are you guys doing a show with Under the Mountain?
Yeah, I just put those
sweet.
out yesterday. Yeah, so we've got a show with Under the Mountain on February 8th at the Globe, which is where I work. It's all ages venue. It's fucking awesome. Like me, Rich, and Angela, who are like the management there, we've done so much work to get that place off of its, sort of not necessarily off its feet, but like to a point where people are consistently coming to every show. When we started, there would be shows where there's like 10 people there and whatnot. And now we're at a point where like we've sold out shows consistently. We've had shows where 200 people show up now, which is fucking crazy. Like our New Year's show, they sold over 500 drinks. So it's a super sick venue, and Rich takes all the money that he makes and just reinvests it into better gear and better everything. And we've got a show with Butcher, who's a super sick, sick newer sort of metal band.
I haven't seen them play live.
They're rad. That's
Great.
Nicholas Reed.
I ran into him like
awesome.
When's the show with Butcher?
That's February 8th. That's Under the Mountain show. Yeah.
Oh,
so it's Under the Mountain's album release, like official album release when it comes out. Then we're playing a set. Vogue Villains is playing a set. Who's fucking phenomenal. We love those guys.
Sweet.
We got them to play the Halloween show, and it's
Yeah.
because they have the most Halloween fucking music ever. Like they have like organs and they kind of all their instruments sort of make the go woo noise after
It's
a while.
It's super like haunting vibes, like alt rock. It's driving. It's rad. They're
It's
like the one band that anytime we play with them, I'm looking at those guys and I'm thinking like if there's any band that will, have a future of playing in front of 500 people and like doing super well, like even more, definitely more than that. Like they deserve to be playing in front of huge crowds. Like they're super fucking sick. So we're always stoked to play with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sick show. Like you can get tickets online for $15, which is a steal to see those 4 bands. It's definitely gonna sell out, so we're stoked for it.
Yeah,
Sweet.
Vogue Villains is one of those bands I'm always scared to play after.
Yeah.
Then Mean Bikini is another one. They're great live. We played with the band when we played in Red Deer.
That's a great name for a band too. Mean Bikini.
Yeah, I know. Those guys are great.
Oh,
They're all
so
from
sick.
they're from Cumberland and they're fantastic. But the other band that like they blew me away. Their band name was The Usual Suspects when we played in Red Deer. God, those guys were good. There was like no, they were more than good. There was like 15 people in the crowd and they played like there was
Not
like
even
39.
It's like 5.
They played like there was 39,000 people there. Like, are you all still fucking with me? They had their like crazy shred. So they covered a death song. They covered Crystal Mountain. I was like, no, fuck.
Shout out Usual Suspects from Edmonton. They're super sick.
Nice. I'll have to check
Actually,
them out.
fucking every band from Edmonton. That's like one of the sickest scenes ever. Like
Mm-hmm.
everyone's
Edmonton's good.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Like it's so connected. Like I went to Edmonton once in my life, and I know like now like 15 people there who I'm like I talk to and like would consider friends. It's pretty sick. Like I don't think I've ever just been to a city and then come out feeling so like a part of that scene. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Edmonton was nice. I had a great time going there. Edmonton, I wasn't crazy about Calgary. I wasn't really crazy about all of Alberta, but I was like, yeah, Edmonton's pretty nice.
Well, I was. I love you, Calgary. Not as much. Red Deer, you're okay. Sorry.
It is okay.
Yeah.
Everyone we went to was hyping it up like it was the most Skid Row awful town ever, and then we actually played. Yeah, then we actually played, and I was like,
yeah, Red Deer's fine. It's
just fine.
We did have a local band on the bill, which is like that's always a death sentence for pretty much any show. Like if you're a band, touring from a 15-hour drive away, like you're not gonna have your own pull unless you're popping online or something. And we've never been popping online, so yeah, we had a few shows on tour where we were stoked for them. Local support would drop off, and then we kind of just played to no one. But you got to do that, and like we never, we're thinking like, oh man, this fucking sucks. We're having no fun. Like Red Deer, I have some of my favorite memories of the whole tour. Like we went to Valley Village, and everyone was getting like cowboy hats. Toddson picked out a whole cowboy outfit. Like
I know
it's a fun time.
I remember picking up like a Canada flag cowboy hat, and at one part in the set, I took it off my head and like tossed it at Toddson, and it landed perfectly. And like it was like, oh man, all 6 of you in the audience, I know they all went fucking nuts, and they were all like, oh shit, dude, it landed. Yeah, playing at Red Deer was fun. I'm never ever like cranky when the like attendance rate is low.
Yeah,
because at that point it's like it's paid practice. It's fine.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Nice. Cool. So on that note, you guys got shows coming up. Yeah, local area.
We got a show coming up on in Vancouver on January 24th at 648 Kingsway.
Oh, sweet. Where is that?
It's just on it's an east van off of Kingsway, or I guess literally on Kingsway. It's a back alley entrance. If you look up the venue, it's called Take Your Time Back, but the address is 648 Kingsway. It used to be the Toast Collective, and it is literally a tiny hall.
Yeah.
Their theoretical max capacity is 80, but they'll push it to 100. We probably had one of our craziest, rowdiest shows there when we were first playing Vancouver.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great venue.
Yeah, basement Vancouver shows. They can be
Oh my God,
wild.
There was it was the other bands. It was Careener and Big City Germs, and I love Big City Germs. And Careener was really good too. I had fun watching them play live.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out 648 Kingsway. That's a sick venue. If you're ever in Vancouver and there's it's a Friday night, I wonder what shows are going on. That place, Redgate or Green Auto, you're guaranteed to find something fucking cool on a weekend in Vancouver for sure.
Cool.
Then it's Rogers Arena too.
So I'll put your guys' social media links in the description.
Absolutely.
Instagram, Bandcamp.
Yeah. Bandcamp's a good one for sure.
Yeah.
Tidal, Deezer.
Yeah. No.
No one's using Deezer.
No one's using that.
If you're in a band, check your Deezer stats, and if you have one listener on there, I will personally e-transfer you $1 million.
He will.
There's no fucking way. No one uses Deezer.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Thank you for having us on the podcast.
Yeah,
we
man.
appreciate that.
Jesus Christ. Oh, that's my.
Is that the outro music?
The outro.
Ontario.
Lame.
Well, thanks, Finn. Cam,
Yeah,
finish
of course.
the show.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you guys. I'll most likely be at you guys' show at the Globe.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell.
Yeah. You got
Exactly.
YouTube, right?
Oh yeah.
Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe.
You didn't even tell him to hit that bell.
On that note, y'all are off the East Van Dan Shit Show. Peace.
Cheers.
Peace up.